What's up, y'all? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I'm down south of 77, aka 3-Star Draw, and this here is an adult collector channel. Most of the time we're looking at G.I. Joe Classified over here. That's my main line, that's my main bag, main thing I collect. Every now and then we'll look at other stuff I like as well, because it's not all that I collect. So today is something very, very different than anything I've ever looked at here on the channel. Also kind of similar, but still different. So I am talking, of course, about the D13 Toys Biblical Adventures figures. This is my first one, and for my first one of these figures, I've wanted a Jesus figure for a long time, and I picked up Sacred Heart Jesus. So I remember seeing these when they were Kickstarter, and I think by the time I saw it, they had already funded. I'm like, man, it's awesome. I want to get one of those. And wasn't exactly in my wheelhouse, so I kind of forgot about it. I mean, it's not, thought it was awesome, but how much of that stuff you see you think is awesome, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to look for that later, and so much stuff comes out. All right, well, kind of forgot about it. Fast forward to Joe Fest last year, and D13 was there. They were set up with 4 Horsemen because Chris Garwich, who runs D13, it's his project. I believe the whole thing is his baby. He is a production manager for 4 Horsemen, and I'm pretty sure that it was all 4 Horsemen like resources that went into getting these made once the Kickstarter was finished. I'm sure that information's probably out there and been out there for a long time, but I don't have it, so I'm putting 2 and 2 together. So very similar packaging to the 4 Horsemen, and we'll take a better look at it here in a minute. But you got your magnetic cover here on these, and inserts and all of that. So they were set up there with 4 Horsemen, but they didn't have any Jesus figures. They had several of the others, and I really wanted a Jesus figure, especially for the first one. It's what I really want. There are some other really cool ones in the line, but I mean, if you're gonna buy a biblical line, like you want to kind of start with the main guy, you think. So recently he put a post up that he had some back in stock, and it's kind of like buying anything from 4 Horsemen. It's the best price you're ever going to get. It's buying it direct. And I had a bunch of them that are sold out on like BBTS, and other retailers were available. So I went with Sacred Heart Jesus. I've always liked the painting, and honestly, I like the colors. I don't have like a preference of which one. Like the one that I really wanted at Joe Fest was, there is a crucifixion one that comes with the cross and all of that. That's the one I wanted at Joe Fest, but I would have got any of them. But after looking at them in stock, I decided, because I like the red and I always liked that painting, I was going to go with Sacred Heart. So we're going to get it out, check it out, compare it to some other figures. These were really developed to be like an educational kind of line, even though they are aimed at an older crowd. But you can do a lot with them, and I think it really fills a niche in action figure collecting. I think there probably is a pretty big market for these guys. Now, I bought it because I want to use it with other lines. I ain't gonna lie. I want to use this dude for other things, just because I think it's awesome to have a Jesus action figure. But there are a lot of other good possibilities, that's not the right word, options, a lot of other good options in the line, in several different other forms. I was going to say costumes, but that's not the right word. Depictions, that's the word I'm looking for. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get him out, look at him compared to some other stuff. And, people kept telling me that I need Jesus, so I got him. As we always do over here on 3-Star Draw, we're going to look at the packaging, and you kind of have to on this. Like I said, these are developed by in conjunction with Four Horsemen, so you got to give the credit where it's due on the packaging. So on the front, you have this nice worn look. It looks like a big Bible, right? And this is a big packaging. I mean, there's my hand and wrist, so nice size packaging for it. It's gold writing on everything. Then you flip it over here on what looks like the spine. Looks like a nice leather-bound book. Biblical Adventures at the top, D13 Toys at the bottom, and then you have this, which is actually a sticker. It took me a minute to realize this was actually a sticker, but it's brilliant. You make the packaging, and then you put this sticker on the spine, and you put them on a shelf, and they all match. We saw this with like Monster Force did this, but it's just a great idea. And then back here on the back again, looks like the back of a Bible here. And then when you flip it this way, you see these pages. Actually looks like they've been thumbed through. You couldn't see this from a distance, and you wouldn't realize that it wasn't a book. I mean, it looks really, really good. So you do have your magnetic packaging, or at least the front side is magnetic. I thought it all was. Perhaps not. So we'll go ahead and look at the picture on the inside. You do have the painting here with Jesus as the light and the robes, and kind of floating there in heaven. And you see hell down here. Lucifer is actually in the line, but it's mortal Lucifer. Then over here you get a breakdown of the Biblical Adventures, a story. So I'll pause that if I can fit it all on there if you want to read that. It's a nice story, and it is actually dedication to what the source material is here. So they're not made tongue in cheek. That may be how I use it, but that's not how it's what they're made for. So there is a nice look at the figure inside the box there, and then over here you do get an actual turning page that tells you about the Jesus Sacred Heart. You got it in English, you got it in Spanish, and then you've got it in, I believe this is Hebrew down at the bottom. So this is a much better idea than what Hasbro does on multiple languages. Actually has a purpose here. So here's how he comes packaged. Now I got to figure out how to get this guy out. I guess he just slides out. Okay. All right. That's not nearly as bad as I thought. A whole lot easier to get into than Four Horsemen packaging. So we'll go ahead and pull him out of the box here. And I didn't even realize that was in there. That's the back, so you can set it up with the stained glass window behind it. Or you can do it that way. That's actually, it's really, really pretty. I was expecting the Four Horsemen standard piece of paper about heating stuff up, because it does actually mention that on the website. So as usual, we'll look at what he comes with, because he does actually come with a base. Footprints in the sand. Oh, it's a brilliant idea there, and actually not a whole lot to it, but I mean it does have nice sand texture, and has a foot peg there, so you can stand him in it. And then, of course, we do have plenty of soft goods here. And you do have this that you can put around him, and this is all bendy wire. So you can do this as seen in the painting itself, which I find it odd that they don't have the actual painting on here, but maybe that's something to do with licensing perhaps. But as you'd expect, this is all bendy wire, so you can mold it however you want. So that's how he comes packaged in. You don't get just a ton of accessories with these guys. You're mostly going to get hands, and then something like you do have a halo. And then another reason that I like this one was it actually does have the Sacred Heart with the thorns and everything on it. So I'm going to get this stuff out, and we'll take a look at him. got those divine accessories out, so let's take a look at them first like we always do. So I like the way that they did this. So you have the heart, you got the cross, you got the light coming out, flames, thorns, you got everything. But on the back, it has this little handle here, and actually already has a piece of line attached to it right out of the box. I'm guessing this is so you can put it over his head and position his hand like he is, holding it like in the painting, like it's kind of floating in front of him there. I thought that was cool that they already had this done for you. And then you also get the Sacred Heart of Mary with him holding it. And I'm no religious scholar, so you have to bear with me on some of this stuff. But I like the way that they did that they give you that one too, with him holding it in his left hand. Thought that was a really neat inclusion. And on the hands, as we're going to see, we're going to look at all of the hands. Yeah, all of the hands have stigmata. So all of the extra sets of hands that you get actually have, if I can get it to focus there, actually have the stigmata on it. So that one there. And then you do get a pair of grippy hands. So I thought that's cool that they had those on there. You do get horizontal swivel on these. And again, you want to be careful because plastic. Try to go ahead and work these free just a little bit here. Get them broken loose a little bit before we try putting any of them on. Especially that one. That one's actually pretty good. So that's all the stuff. He does come with a halo to put behind him. So he's going to have some kind of peg there in the back. And I like that. So you can, it's kind of, it's translucent, but it's, it's somewhat opaque. Got the gold going around it, of course. A little bit of paint overspray there on, I can't tell if it's on both sides or just on one. Looks like it's just on one, but I don't know which one it's on. Looks like this one. Anyway, it's not really all that noticeable, not really a big deal, but you do get a halo with him. So let's go ahead and check him out. First, of course, we're going to look at the head sculpt. Looks really good. I mean, I got no complaints with this. The eyes look nice. Again, this is capturing the image in that particular painting. So there's going to be a little more color to the cheeks and things because it's working off of the painting. Hair is kind of flexible, not real flexible. You're not going to be bending it around much. It's not a Jada, it's not Blanca. But I think the main thing here you want to capture is the eyes. Of course, the beard sculpting on the hair looks nice. A little bit of wash in there. Not a whole lot, but you can definitely tell that it's there. So, let's see what kind of articulation he's got. Again, on his robe, you have bendy wire, so you can fashion those sleeves however you want. Does not have, I'm trying to tell if he's got a bicep swivel. I don't think so. Nope. So you do have pinless double jointed elbows, and again, like you want to do with pretty much any kind of Four Horsemen product, you want to be careful with these. Move them really gently, and if you think you need to, stop and heat them up. So a little bit breaking the top part of the elbow loose, but not too bad. If I think I need to stop and get some heat, I definitely will. That one moves a little bit better on that right side. And let's see what kind of what kind of T-pose he can do. So not bad. Not a bad T-pose at all. And let's go ahead and check out what we've got underneath. You got a torso swivel here. You do have thigh swivel. You have pinless double jointed knees. So that one, I may have to hit that one with a little bit of heat on that bottom part. No, we got it free. And he actually does say that on the website, he's got very limited replacement parts for these. So be careful. Just get those work free, get that paint broken free a little bit. So that's about as far back as you're really going to get with these. So pretty much, I mean, kind of what you would expect. A little bit of a Jean-Claude Van Damme. Really feels weird putting Jesus in these poses, but we've got to make sure he can articulate, don't we? Ankle, no ankle swivel. Does have rockers here. See if we can get those broken loose. So that one, that left one that one's pretty tough. So you don't have the level of articulation you have with some figures with this, but you're probably not going to be needing to get this figure into a whole lot of dynamic posing. I want to, but I would think most people don't. I'm going to stop and hit this ankle here with just a little bit of heat because it's not moving the way I want. So let's do that. We did get those broken free pretty good. So heat is your friend if you need it, especially on figures like this. So he does have ankle rocker, and then you do have the side to side. So you got your hinge, and then you got your side to side rockers. So you ought to be able to get some pretty good posability out of this guy, I would think. So right arm's a little loose, but that could be just because I was holding him in front of a hairdryer. So you do have back here, you've got the tie. I guess you can untie that if you want, but no, I don't want. So you can probably do it up a little bit tighter if you want, but I don't know why you would really need to take that off, but you can if you want to. And then of course we do have this one that we can fold over him. So let's change some hands out, and of course I want to see what this one looks like first. So there we go, got him holding that heart. And you're going to be able to get that cuff down on that robe just like you would want. See how he's hinged in the back, so he can look way down, and then looking up, kind of the hair restricts that in the back. And like I said, it's molded in, it's not moving, so definitely don't want to force it, but you can. He's definitely got a nice, very nice downward look. And of course, head goes all the way around. I'm pretty sure you can remove the head. I don't particularly have a reason to right now, so I'm not going to try it, but you definitely can. So let's try another hand over here. So let's try this. Guess this is like a blessing hand. So he's beckoning to you, telling you need to change your ways. So that's kind of, see how he stands up. Just an interesting figure to have. So that's always kind of my thing, is seeing how they stand up. And I'm going to have to get these feet positioned right around the robe. All in all, not too difficult, and I don't think he's going to fall over under his own weight like a lot of stuff that we've seen. So let's go ahead and throw the halo on there. It's got a little plug right there. Just goes right in. So there he is with his halo behind him, and I guess you could probably backlight him and make this thing look really awesome. That right arm is really, really loose. Not crazy about that. I don't feel like it's going to come out of there, but it's really loose. I'm trying to tell if he has butterfly joints, but I mean none of these other guys do. So that's a pretty cool look. I am digging that. So then he does have. Let's go ahead and throw just a regular, like a C grippy hand on there. You know, that looks. So there are weapons and other things in this line. I mean, you know, having him hold a sword or something, but he can do it. He does have the hands to do it if you want to so inclined for that. So there's just a top down look. There's what he looks like. So I mean, it's pretty much what I expected out of it. I'm happy with it. Let's do the get him on the base here. Can actually put the footprints there. There we go. So that's how he's going to look on your sand base with the footprints in the sand. I'll go ahead and pop this halo off here. And I didn't have, I had the robe caught in part of that, but you can see pretty easily how that just ports in. It's just a square. So yeah, I don't really, other than that arm being loose, but I mean, it's not like it's coming off or anything. It's fine. It's just not like I haven't gotten Joes with super loose arms like that. So let's go ahead and swap this hand. Just kind of, is it just me or is that a ninja chop hand? A Judy chop. That's what that is. But he does have it. Does come with it. I'm guessing that's also that's a blessing. But there's your stigmata. Looks really good. So I do have a little bit of paint rub there where I've been working the wrist joints on it. But I mean, that's gonna happen. I mean, these kind of figures, the level of painting that they do on these. So you get a lot of wrist movement. Man, I wish everything had the wrist articulation that this has. You can do a lot with that. Do a lot of storytelling just in the movement of the wrists with some of these hand poses. So I'm going to stop once again and look at it to see exactly how this goes on to make the portrait, and we'll put the heart on him. Alright, so it's not perfect, but you can actually get pretty close. So the hand angled in a little more, so you can actually get pretty close. So I have it looped around. You can see coming around here, and you can kind of stick the sunburst there on the fabric, and it will hold it in place. You do have to fuss with it for just a little while, and actually had the blue pushed down a little more and had it a little more accurate, but it's really hard to get this thing perfect so it floats, but you can do it. And I might have even done it wrong, but it worked. So I've got it looped underneath there with the fishing line with the string, and then this around, and that was how I folded it up. Probably folded up a little tighter than that, and then I just had the Sacred Heart going around his neck, and that I think that's how that's intended to work, is to use this to wrap it around and make it look like he's floating. He definitely does look better with the little bit of blue on there with the sash or whatever piece of cloth this is. I'm not sure exactly if there's a name for this or not, but the blue sash that he wears, other robe that he wears. So I'm pretty happy with this figure overall. It's pretty much exactly what I expected. It does have a little bit of ab crunch there as well. So not a lot, but you can get pretty good range of motion out of him with the articulation that he has. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think I will probably wind up picking up a couple others in the line. I'm not going to get all of them. It's just not my thing, but there are certain ones that I want. So check these out if you guys have not seen these yet. The D13 Biblical Adventures. We did say we're going to compare them to a couple of other figures. So this is just what I have around. So I don't think any of these guys would be any match for Jesus. But so here I have Marvel Legends Green Goblin. For a size comparison, pretty much the same. They're in scale. So let's see. Talking about Mythic Legions. So who do I have close? Is I have Hagnon here. And that's pretty close to the same size. And then let's see what else is floating around. Here's the D13 Toys Shaggy. So if you ever pictured Jesus and Shaggy going on an adventure, now you can do it. So they are very much in scale with any of the other lines. The one thing that I don't have actually sitting right here in arm's length is a classified. I don't have one actually right here sitting beside me, but you get the idea. I don't think I really need to go get up and grab one. I do have the Swarm Tracer from Valaverse here. So again, size is right on for anything that you want to use in this scale that you might want to use this figure for. So now you know, adventures, and tell me what you think about them. I will see you guys next time on 3 Star Draw.